Hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Princess Repercussions. My name is Princess, and you are welcome to our show today. Okay, before we start, let me welcome you all with this uh, music. Let me welcome you all. Where is our soundtrack now? Oh dear. What's the soundtrack? Let's let's play this one. Here we go. Okay, welcome, welcome everyone to this show today. Yeah, to our Tuesday show. Okay, before I start, I'd like to develop lessons for everyone who is coming around today, for everyone who is already here. I can see that a lot of amazing people are on the channels here. You are all welcome. I'll give a shout out in a bit. Give a shout out in a bit. Yes. And as I was saying, I'd like to give a bell of blessings for those who are already here or to welcome you. For those who are on their way coming, they will hear shortly. And for those who will come later on, thank you for my this bell of blessings for us all. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for coming. Okay, today we have a topic, and this topic was a question someone had asked me and had said I should discuss this topic. If you know me, you know that I discuss life issues, you know that I discuss relationships, I discuss YouTube and I discuss the art of YouTubing and all that, as I usually say, and all those dynamics. Okay, so we have a topic today, and today's topic has to do with children, and the topic is how should a male child or how should male children be raised? Should the child be asked to suck up pain and not express it when it's hurt? That is the title. I will tell you how come this title came about and who asked the question. Okay. So before we start, I'd like to ask you, is the music too loud? Is the music okay? Uh, all right. Let me give a shout out now. Let me give a shout out. I'd like to start with you. Sis, Rebecca Mlo Prince, you are welcome. Bell of blessings for you. Welcome. Garden, my good friend, you are here already. welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Uh, Let me further reduce this music a little bit so it doesn't disturb us. Okay, all right, yes. Uh, so, Gordon, how have you been? I hope you have been good. I hope all is well with you. I hope work is going well. Yeah. Next, I'd like to give a bell of blessings for bluebells. Bluebells, yes. Your bell of blessings is here. Your bluebell is here. So a bell of blessings for you, bluebell. Yeah. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, princess. Thank you all. I see you all. And my able nightbird is also here to moderate with the people who are also moderators already. You're all welcome. Okay. Oh, Goga is already here. Goga, welcome. Bell of blessings for you. You are welcome. Okay. You were at the gates. I'm sure you're in now. Yeah. Uh, right. You're all welcome, welcome, welcome. I think some people are in the bush or in the bushes or behind the curtains. They're hiding it, but that's okay. As long as you give me thumbs up, that is absolutely fine. Please, while you are there behind the blues, behind the curtains or behind the bushes, if you have any contributions towards what we are discussing tonight, please do not hesitate to give. And I think that perhaps people who raised this question might also be here. So I'd like to implore you, if you are giving a feedback, please be kind to the people who have asked the question so that we don't end up creating more controversies for them. You know, let's be kind to them. Okay. Yeah, like I always say, remember that whatever question we have to treat here, uh, you know, most of the time are spun-offs from what people have already discussed or people who are going through the experience, because they know that I have a mature community and because they know that I don't do saga on my channel. Yes, I joke a lot, I laugh a lot, but I don't destroy people with my channel. So uh, they always come back to me believing that Princess will discuss with her community and get solution, even if it is one or two. But I am trusting that other people might come in so that we can do justice to this topic today. So, Goga, no more shouting. Bluebell, Bluebell of blessings is never far. Yeah, never far. I have kept it for you, for your sake. I keep it very close to me, you know. Okay, host, I sent you a reply on IG. All right, I will check it out. I will check it out. Okay, I'll check it out shortly. Um, must be very posh bushes if they have curtains. Oh well, maybe. Yes, garden, we only have posh bushes here. We don't like being thumbed. Okay, so you got your response. Yay, Anna is here. All of blessings for you, Anna. You are welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. Anna is she is my first channel member to come in today. So, Anna, I welcome you. How have you been? I've been trying to catch Anna live, but it's like it's been so difficult for me to do, but it's okay. Um, I've been away working, but I came back during the week. I came back before the weekend, last weekend, and I'm still here. When I go again, you might not see me again, okay, until when I come back again. So, Anna, please pardon me if I have not come. If you have been having your LS and I haven't come to you, okay? So, yeah, Anna, if you don't have Anna by official, she's a channel member, please go check her out. And Bluebell Beaded Crafts. If you're here and you don't have Bluebell Beaded Crafts, go check her out. Check out that channel. She is my moderator. Okay. All right. Okay. I hope I am loud and clear. My Anna. Hey, Anna. Lily's allergic to someone in the chat. I'm sneezing. Okay, sorry. All right. So, if you have anyone who can discuss this topic with us, please invite the person. We let the person come in, and if you would like to come up the panel to, air your views, please let me know, and I'll drop the link. And I'll drop the link. Um, yes, so we can discuss the topic. And if we are not able to complete the discussion today, then continue it some other time. But this is the question, or rather, let me lay a premise for the topic. Like I said earlier on, your moderator is very grateful for the love and support you've always given. Oh, thank you for that. Okay. All right. My moderator has always been supportive. So whatever love we give or we show for the to the moderator is it's all right. It's not too much. Okay. So please let's show some love as we go, as we check other people out. Show some love, show some support. Yeah. My opinion is boys should be allowed to cry or show emotion. It is human. Okay. That is the first opinion that is spinning of this discussion this evening. Lily is spoiled by her princess. Yes, yes, you deserve that. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, should boys be allowed, or should boys be told to suck up their pain when they are hurt? Should they be told, oh, because you are a boy, you shouldn't cry when you get hurt, or because you are a child, a boy child, you should not cry when something happens to you. You suck it up. I have seen people out who tell their children, suck it up. Huh? Suck it up. You're a boy. Boys are not supposed to cry, or men are not supposed to cry. And I'm asking, is this true? That when a male child, is hurt, he is not allowed to express emotion, or he's not allowed to cry. He is told to suck up the pain because he is a male child. That is one. Number two, as if that is not enough. We've not even started talking. But I'm also asking, where is this going to lead this male child, or these boys who are not allowed to express their emotions? Where will it lead them to? When a child is not allowed to express his emotion, what will become of him in future? That is the question that is behind this very question is being asked. Now, let me give you a brief history of how the question came about. Back in the day, particularly with African moms, I don't know about other people, but with African mothers, uh, with children, when something happens to the child and the child begins to cry, or say the mother wants to punish the child because the child has done something, and when the child starts crying, the mothers usually say shh, shh, shh. They don't allow the child to express, to cry, and they want the child to, shut their mouth. Don't cry. If I hear you cry, stop crying, something like that. Not because something is after them or somebody is going to punish them for allowing the child to cry, but because they don't want this child to express that emotion, like you have done something wrong, you are crying, you must not cry. So somebody asked a question, a very influential woman in the Nigerian society, who also lives in America. Uh, but she loves Nigeria a lot because she comes from Nigeria, which is where I originally came from as well. And this woman, if I mention her name now, you all, whether you are Nigerian or not, you all know her because she is a very popular, a famous author, a famous writer, and she's won many awards with her books. And I hold her in high esteem. Yes. And, she was discussing and she was saying something. And she said that, the male children, uh, boys, why is it that boys are not allowed to cry, for example, but girls could cry, right? Why is it that uh, I had asked the question, I had asked, should boys and girls be trained the same way? Should boys and girls be nurtured, be raised the same way? And she had said, I asked that question so that other people can contribute to that discussion, not this one, to that discussion or discussing. And other things started coming up, because so most of the time I don't ask questions for myself because I know that people are going through stuff. So I asked that question: should they be raised the same way? And that I've discussed this in our channel before, right? I think last or 2 years ago. Can't remember. Hmm. So people started contributing, and she then said, why she picked on that particular one. Why should we not allow the male child to cry out if or when he is pained? Why should we not? So why shouldn't you allow your male child to express emotion? Is the male child not a human being? There are other things, and I don't want to mix them up. So it's not a yes or no question. It's something that we have to discuss. So I thought, all right, let's discuss this. Should the male children be allowed to express their emotions or not? Guys, I don't know. I think I'm allergic to something, and that is disturbing me here. But it's okay. And because I'm not applying makeup now, uh, please don't let me not draw attention to that. Let's continue. Let it not disturb us. Because I know that some people might come and begin to wonder, Princess, what is wrong with your face? Or your face is looking dull. Some people come later on to ask. boy was your face looking though? Please ignore my face right now. I'm not in the mood for makeup and all that yet until I finish with mourning my mom. Okay. All right. So I'm going to read out some chats. I'm going to read out some chats while we are at it. Okay. So I have gone behind the the chat. My opinion is boys should be allowed to cry or show emotion. It is human. Okay, that's one from Bluebells Beaded Crafts. And Gordon says male children should be allowed to cry. Let me even begin to highlight them so that you can see the responses. So for those people who are coming to, rewatch this, they can see the responses. Fred G. Dangote, you are welcome. A bill of blessings for you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are welcome. Okay, yeah. So Gordon had said that read male children should be allowed to cry, but an explanation of how others might see that should be given so they can make their own choices. Right? Okay, so we're gonna allow that to rest a little bit. And Bluebell says, even some girls don't cry and suck it up and stay strong because they believe it shows weakness and you shouldn't show weakness. Yes. And you know why the boys are told to suck it up? They are told to suck it up because they believe that when a boy expresses emotion, it shows weakness. But should it be that way? Should it be that way? I am moderating this discussion, so am I allowed to express my opinion as well? Okay. I'll ask a lot of questions. Okay, so should it be that way? Should boys be told to suck up their emotions because expressing their emotions show signs of weakness? Huh? Does it show sign of weakness when male children cry or even men? Because men cry. I have seen men cry before, and that doesn't make them any less than men. Because I've seen more than one man cry before. I've seen several men cry before, right? Um, Even when I was counseling, sometimes I'll talk to them and start shedding tears. That does not make them less of who they are. When a man cries and I see a man cry, it does not make him less of a man. And it does not show I don't disrespect such a man because he's crying. That's for me. I don't know about other people and I don't know the reason behind other people's opinions. Okay, so I'm asking, does it show a sign of weakness when a man cries or when boys express their emotions by crying or when uh, male children express their emotions by crying? So why should they be asked to stock up their pain and not express it when they are hurt? Okay, a lot of males that don't express their emotions become abusive or end up suffering with serious mental issues. Yes. Uh, yeah. Okay. That's another one. Yes, I believe that as well. I believe that as well, but I'm not going to express my opinions on this until I have seen everybody's opinions, right? So that so that even if the person who has asked this question or who has brought up this thing or the reason we are discussing this, even if the person is here, so that the person would not say, "Oh, princess, you influenced the discussion," because I have already talked about the discussion and I had already given you the background to the discussion. I was there and I had this discussion with them as well. But this person had told me, "Princess, go back to your channel. I want to hear other people's opinions." So I'm not going to say my opinions. I'm just going to repeat and elaborate on the opinions of other people. And like I told you, if you want to come up here to speak, to air your views, please let me know and I will send you the link immediately. Okay? So, yeah, so let's continue. The emotion that's um, held in gets worse later on. Okay, that's another one. Yeah. So, we have seen people have said um, the male child should be allowed to express their emotion because they are also humans. And people say, "Oh, don't express your emotion because it's a sign of weakness." Women too want to hold back emotion because um, some people view it as a sign of weakness. So, should we be telling men, "Hold back your emotions"? And I went further to ask, if they hold back their emotions, how is it, what is going to be the implication? What are the implications? Because there are implications for that. Sorry, guys, I need to plug in my battery. Battery is. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, red lipstick vibes. You are welcome. A bell of blessings for you, sis. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see you. Yeah, I see you, my lovely sister. You are welcome. Thank you so much for popping in. Um, I'm sure you've seen the topic of discussion, and are you just coming in? We've Some people have already aired their views on this discussion, and if, like I said earlier on, if you would like to pop in, if you would like to come up the panel, I will drop you the invite and drop you the link, and then you can um, come up. Okay, please let me know so you can come up. All right. Okay. You were punished for crying, and look at Lily now. She's extremely hot-headed and at times gets aggressive and frustrated. Okay, you were punished for crying when you were young. Is that what you're saying? Long time ago. Um, yeah. Okay. Crying shows weakness, but it's good to show that side of you. It makes it easier for people to come to you, so they are aware you are human and have emotions, not just a hard man always. I'm going to highlight that uh, comment. I'm going to highlight that comment so we can see that that comment was by someone, not just my opinion. Okay, so I keep saying that I'm not going to influence this. I'm not going to influence it. I'm going to allow the audience, the chatters, to express their opinions, and I will just, you know, elaborate on the opinions. Okay? Yeah. So crying shows weakness. Okay. Crying shows weakness. Crying shows vulnerability, right? When you cry, you expose that you're vulnerable to, some things, right? But does that mean that if one is hurt, one should not cry or one should not express that emotion? Is that what we are saying? Ifeanyi Cool, you are welcome. Bella, blessings for you. Thank you so much for coming in. Hello, soulmate. Greetings from Germany. Both. Yes, greetings. And we are responding from the UK. You are welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. All right. Let's go. Yes. Crying, crying, crying. Don't bring it to the forefront. The more you bring attention to it, the more people. Oh, okay. It's all right. It's all right. I see that. All right. Uh, Anyone wanting to come up? No, it shouldn't be that way. Okay. You can't express your opinion. I refuse. My moderator. All right. I'm not expressing my opinion. Bluebell, where is your twin brother? Okay, Anna, I have no idea. And I did not share it to him. I didn't share this out. Please, if you're able to share out, kindly do so. Thank you. Okay, my lovely. Yes. Is she still here? Red lipstick vibes. Are you still here? I would like to hear your opinion, please. Um, and maybe I can drop the link. Is Goga still here? Goga, I'd like to hear your opinion. Ifan cool, you are here. I'd like to hear your opinion. If you don't mind, if you want me to drop the link, I will do that right away. Gordon, if you want me to drop the link, whoever wants me to drop the link, please let me know so that I can drop the link. Okay, so we can discuss this. All right, so other people can hear your opinions. Looks like Lily's talking too much. What happened to everyone? Why is the chat so silent? No, Lily's not talking too much, please. Please. Lily, we are just listening to the host, but we are still here. All right. Children learn quick. Yes. Okay. Tato, are you sure you're not busy looking for your Kenyan lady friend? She's not in the bushes. Crying is relieving. All right. From Ifeanyi Cool, he says crying is relieving. Lily, behave. Crying is relieving. Yeah. Does everyone agree that crying is relieving? I believe so too. No, that's my opinion. But at least I can agree or disagree, yeah? Okay. So I believe so too. The example I give all the time is when someone passes away, and whilst a lot of men talk about it, they cry, they start apologizing for their emotion. Okay, yeah, that's it. So that shows that men cry. Men cry. Yes, Anna Bai is also here. Anna, would you like to air your opinion? Should I invite you? Should I drop the link so you can come up? I'm asking for if anyone wants me to drop the link. Please let me know. I have had when my channel picked up, I have had experiences in the past where I dropped the link and you know, so you never know who is hiding behind the bushes. All right, but I can drop the link. Please let me know, or let me see. Let me just drop it. If you would like to come up, yes, I will. I will vet before you come up. I will see who is coming on. Who is coming on? So uh, I will be able to either bring the person up. All right. So yes, men cry to show their emotion and they start apologizing. For example, she gave an example when someone passes away and a man starts talking about it, then the man starts crying and he apologizes. Usually they apologize for, you know, for their emotion. But should they be apologizing? Should they be apologizing? Because men should express their emotion because they are human beings too, right? Okay. I can't come up. I'm crying because I don't know how to show emotion. Oh, please. That didn't stop. Princess, I've messaged him twice, so he may be busy. Okay, that's okay. That's fine. Now he's not here. Maybe he's here. Ruga ran away. He came to my IG to tell me of. Yeah, okay, I'm sure that crying is relieving. Studying, I'm enjoying annoying you. Crying releases the frustration, anger, or pain that you're feeling is healthy. Yeah, crying is relieving. That's what our brother Ifan said, right? And you are corroborating that. Crying releases the frustration and anger or pain that one is feeling, and it is healthy. So, in other words, crying is healthy. Yeah, crying is healthy. Okay, so um, if something happens and a man shows his emotions by crying, it's healthy. And I also know that sometimes men show their vulnerability to their partners, and it's also healthy. Sometimes when they become emotional and they shed tears, it's also healthy. It's not a is it it's not a sign of weakness. My opinions is sipping in a little, right? But that's okay. For you to release the negative emotions, yes, you need to cry. True. So it is healthy to cry. Do we all agree that it's healthy to cry? Please, let's talk. Let's share our opinions. Yes. And I have dropped the link, so you may jump on. You may jump on the link. Sam Kendirim Agoga, you're welcome. Hello, blessings for you, my brother. You are welcome. Thank you so much for coming in. Princess, you can share your okay. Yeah, I've seen that. Uh, Men in the chat, share your comments. Please, men, come, share your comments. Yes, which is why we are here. Kindly share your comments. Kindly share your comments, please. Kindly share your comments. And um, if you want to drop your link while we're at this, if you want to drop your link, you can type in the chat. Type princess. I'm sure you'll get there. Princess, okay? Yeah. And opinions. Princess says, be careful. You can also privately DM people the link. Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay. You have a certain indescribable fulfillment after crying, but you hardly can tell it. You hardly can call it fulfillment. Okay. fulfillment. So crying is somehow fulfilling, right? Crying is somehow fulfilling, but you can't call it fulfillment, is what you are saying. So what can you call it? We already know that it is relieving, right? And we already know that when you when one shows emotion by crying, it's healthy. Okay, but we are not talking about the crocodile tears. Crocodile. I like the way he put it. Crocodile tears should be exempted here, please. Yes. No, we are not talking. As if I saw your comments. We are not talking about the crocodile tears. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for mentioning that. I should have mentioned it right from the beginning. We are not talking about the crocodile tears. And some people are very, very close to tears. When we are talking about crocodile tears, let's also be careful because some people are very, very close to tears. Any little thing, upsets them and they start shedding tears. Maybe as a result of what they have experienced in the past, right? Or they have experienced. People who have faced a lot of accusations in the past usually exhibit this character or this behavior, you know, because they have experienced a lot of accusations in the past, a lot of criticism in the past. Sometimes when you are talking to them and they remember their past, they start crying. But you are not sure if it is what you are talking to them about that is making them cry, right? So sometimes you start wondering, oh, why is this person crying? Like I told you that while I was counseling some people, or while I was talking to some people, or just talking to them, not even counseling them, just talking to them, or giving them listening ears, and they pour out whatever they want to say, and then I start talking to them. Some of them start crying, and I wonder, what have I said to make this person cry? uh you know at the end of the day, when I finish with such session, I go back and I reminisce. I think back and I, step by step by step by step. And sometimes I realize that maybe something I said must have triggered off the experience, triggered them off, and they remember the experience they have had in the past that is connected to what I have told them, you know, and they start shedding tears, right? So some people are like that, that they are close to tears, you know. It takes a certain maturity, people start maturing to overcome such a thing. Some people are very close to tears to the extent that while you're talking to them, they start shedding tears. You might start thinking, oh, you're shedding crocodile tears. That's what I'm saying. Let's be, careful. Sometimes we misjudge people when they are shedding tears because they are close to tears. Uh, we say, oh, they are shedding crocodile tears. I've seen a man, I've seen a husband, at, tell his wife, even in public. But I think that's an abusive situation, right? He did something and she started crying, and he said to her, oh, and somebody said, oh, why not console your wife? Why is she crying? And he just passed a comment, said, oh, she's shedding crocodile tears. and that really hurts the woman, and the woman even cried some more when he said that, but that's kind of abusive, right? Because why would you make your wife cry in public? Anyway, let's not go there because that's not what we're discussing right now. Okay? So, yes, you hardly can call it fulfillment. So, what can you call that? Ifanyiku, what can you call it? If we can't call it fulfillment, certain satisfaction that you derive after crying. Well, I guess I can start chipping in my views. Now, there's a certain satisfaction that you derive after crying, which is related to uh, getting relieved after crying, which is which is related to um, crying being healthy. Some cry, some when you cry on some occasions, it's healthy. All right. We unlock nation. You are welcome. A day of blessings for you. Thank you so much for coming in. Okay, let's move on now. No, they shouldn't feel guilty or bad for being upset. Losing a loved one is painful and soul crushing. They should be able to grieve appropriately. Yes. True. I agree. Agree. I agree. I'm going through one now, though I'm not a man or I'm a woman, but I think it's human feeling. Real human expresses emotion, right? Uh, Albeit different ways, in different ways. But um, when one loses a loved one, it's painful, it's soul crushing, it's heart wrenching, yes. And for some of us, the only way to let out that ache, because it's heartache, it it affects you physically, it affects your heart, your chest, physically, right? And sometimes how to let it out is just cry. And not just sometimes silent tears, sometimes you wail, you actually wail to let it out, when you lose a loved one. And that's one of the ways to grieve appropriately, right? I believe so because I'm going through it now, so I know this one very well. All right. So crying is good because it saves you going to the sink to wash your face. Oh my goodness, got him. Got him. You don't want to go to the sink to wash your face, so you want to cry. You want to use your tears to wash your face. Is that what you do? Is that what you do? Oh no. Um, so yes, thumbs up, Don. Thank you so much, brother Gordon. Honestly, I can't deal with you today. Okay. Hi, Sam. Probably Best Steven isn't here. I don't think Best. He's not here. Otherwise, this whole discussion would have taken a new turn. If one has migraines, crying may not be an option. Ah, if one has migraines, crying may not be an option. Because the headache will be, the migraines will worsen. But if one, let's even explore this particular one further. If one has migraines and happens to lose a loved one, for example, you know, I'm using losing a loved one because it's a common one that makes people cry, right? If not today, maybe tomorrow, or maybe someday when the person feels that emptiness of that loved person not being there anymore, right? If suppose you have migraines at that particular time, are you going to say, "Oh, I have migraines"? No, tears, don't come. Let me stop. No, don't cry. Princess, don't cry. Don't cry. Yes, there have been occasions when I told myself, "Oh, princess, don't cry. You are not going to cry here." Right? There have been occasions like that. But when migraines exist and one loses a loved one, for example, there are other occasions when people cry, just cry helplessly, and there's nothing you can do but to cry, right? Yeah, but I'm using this particular one because that's what comes to mind, and because I know it very well and go through it. Okay, so how are you going to be able to stop yourself from not shedding tears at that particular time because you're I want to believe that it's for health reasons that you're saying that, right? Is it for health reasons? Right, Princess what? Okay, we're praying for your deliverance. Oh my goodness. Really no deliverance for you tonight. Too much snow on the roads. I've not read your Instagram. I've not read your message. I'm sure you must have told me that there is too much snow on the road. What have I gotten myself into? Potato and twin. Well, twin is not around here. So thank, thankful. We are thankful for that. Otherwise, this discussion would have taken a new turn. A storage of guilt can bring someone to cry, and it could be his or her evasion of being apologetic. Yes, true. True. It could be his or her. But that is manipulation, right? That is manipulation. So we have found two things we should knock out. Crocodile tears, yeah. Then when one is being manipulative, right? We should knock those two out. Gracie Carey Mission, you are welcome. Thank you so much for coming. A bell of blessings for you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, so manipulation is not part of it. But how do you tell when one is being manipulative? That's another question. But well, you can tell if you know your child. Remember that how we started this is uh, boys, that is male children. Male children. When male children cry and you tell them to suck it up because they are trying to express emotion. Let's not forget the topic. They're trying to express emotion and they start crying and you tell them, suck it up. You are a man. You're going to grow up into a man. When you cry, when men cry is a sign of weakness. Is it based on personal opinion or is it based on society, the way society sees it? Or how? Why? How did that come into being in the first place? Is it true? Um, Cheke TV, you are welcome, sis. A lot of blessings for you. Thank you so much for coming. We are discussing something, and I have said if you would like to come up, please let me know. I dropped the link earlier, but I'm going to drop it again. If you would like to come up, please do let me know. And yeah, that's the link. I'll try and pin the link to the chat so that um, if anyone would like to come, then you can come up and yes, if anyone would like to come up, please do not hesitate. The link is pinned. The discussion is: should we tell our boys, our male children, to suck it up and stop crying because crying is a sign of weakness? Should we tell them? Should we raise them that way? Should we? Should we raise them that way? Should we should the child suck up the pain and not express that pain, express that hurt at that time by crying? Should we raise our male children to suck up pain? If we do, what is going to be the implication of raising a child in such a way in future? Is it going to affect the child in future? Is it good for the child? So these are the things we are discussing. In case you're coming in, for the benefit of people who are just coming, these are the things we are discussing right now. So yeah. Should we raise our children that way? Please, we've seen some opinions. People have heard some opinions in the chat. If you would like to come up, the link is pinned. Please come up and let's hear your views. You know, I have given it. I have given. I have already painted the picture. I've already discussed how this came up, and uh, if you would like to hear it again, maybe you have to replay this so that you can hear how it came up. But this is the topic discussion for today. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you. I appreciate your support. So let's continue. So yeah, a storage of guilt can bring someone to cry, and it could be his or her way of trying to evade apologies. The person does not want to apologize why he's crying. So I'm saying it's manipulative. This particular one is manipulative, and we are knocking out manipulation out of this. We have already knocked out crocodile tears. And we said, how do we even know which one is crocodile tears and which one is not? But for someone who you know very well, say your child or your partner, when the person is shedding crocodile tears, we know. And I also mentioned that some husbands are abusive, and they say that their wives are shedding crocodile tears. Meanwhile, the woman was actually expressing her pain. I have seen that happen. Why I mentioned that, okay? So, but in the long run, I said that husband being abusive to that woman, and eventually we found out that that was an abusive uh, marriage relationship they were having, and the man was a woman. Okay, so how could you say something that hurts the woman and in public, and then this woman bursts into tears and starts crying, and someone is saying, "Oh, console your wife. Why is your wife crying? Is everything okay? Is everything fine with her?" And the husband said, "Don't mind her. She's shedding crocodile tears." Why would you say your wife is shedding crocodile tears in public? Meanwhile, you have emotionally abused her in public and she's crying. Okay, so that's just an example. But when you have a child and the child is shedding crocodile tears, And when a child is being manipulative, like the child has done something wrong and you scold the child, and instead of the child to apologize, the child bursts out and starts crying. I've seen children do this. Don't ask me. Many children have gone through my hands. So I've seen children. Children are very manipulative, as you know. So I've seen that happen. Okay, so that's not That is not what we're talking about at all. So crocodile tears is not part of it. Manipulative tears is not part of it. Okay, we are talking about genuine tears that come as a result of pain or hurt or heartache, you know, pain, genuine tears. Should we shush someone and say, oh, don't shed tears, don't cry? You need to suck it up because you're a man. You're going to become a man. Crying is a sign of weakness for a man. Should we do that? So, this is what we are discussing today. All right. Okay, princess. Yes. Um, someone called my name. Fine, cool. Called name. When I'm angry, I cry, and it's funny because sometimes I'm so mad, I'm crying, and the person will be confused. Are you sad or mad? Goodness, the way you put it, I understand what you are saying. I understand what you're saying. Sometimes for when I'm mad, sometimes when I'm mad, upset, I cry because I know that this person that is doing this, that is making me mad, if it was someone else, there's something else I could have done to avert tears, right? But because this person is a loved one, or this person is so because of the closeness, there's just nothing I can do. Sometimes you cry like that for the hurt that you're feeling, the disappointment that you're feeling, that someone so dearly will do this to you, right? Yeah. Okay. So that's that. I don't know if anyone else feels what I just said. Does anyone else feel that way? Or when I'm so happy, I'll start crying, and the person will be wondering, are you happy or sad? Okay, this is tears of joy. Tears of joy is tears of joy. No, tears of joy is on the other side. Yeah? Tears of joy is on the other side. Okay? It's also expression of emotions. Well, right? So suppose a man sheds tears of joy. Are we going to say he's shedding tears of joy because he's weak? Huh? Is it a sign of weakness? Um, Mechanical called me. Is he still here? I'm sorry I'm behind the chat, but because we are discussing, it wasn't, constantly looking at the chat. Okay. So when the uncle lost his wife, he was numb and didn't really cry and would feel guilty. Especially it makes you feel guilty, but also okay, set off someone else probably. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Uh, because of the sensitivity of the person next to you, you know this person. This person is like this. You don't want to cry, but you're sad because you don't want to cry because you don't want to upset the next person, right? The person that's with you, because you know the person is sensitive. Is that what you're saying? Okay. God needs deliverance. Uh, Princess, I love the both of them, but dealing with them, this is my dear of fun. Crying induced headaches are real, but it feels so much better after you cried and release that tension. Yes. Really, I don't need deliveries. Daddy says he already had his meal. Yeah, he doesn't need delivery. Could it be that we have another life going? The theme was crying. Oh yes, no. The theme was crying. Yes, yes, yes. If I equal is confused, don't worry. My community, we have a way of weaving some things in, and there is someone who is not here. If he was here, oh my goodness, this whole thing would have ah, oh my goodness. So yes, yes, we are still on it. Yeah, we are still on crying. Yeah. A friend of mine lost his aunt and he cried for days where he completely lost himself, unfortunately passed himself, that passed himself. Oh my goodness. That happens as well. There were other things happening that led him to passing. Okay. Anyways, like the live please. Okay, please thumbs up. Please thumbs up. Please thumbs up. Please thumbs up, people. Let me see. Let me see. Okay. Please give us a thumbs up if you're able to share out so more people can come in and let's treat this discussion. Right. Yeah. However, heartbreak and losing someone you love will make or break you, and that's when you need everyone else who loves you to come show up for you and okay, I see someone in my studio, and I'm going to allow him up in a bit. I'm going to allow him come up in a bit, and when he comes up, I will give him 1 minute or two to introduce himself and tell us what his channel is about, and then he can air his opinion. Because oh, Jordan, you are impossible. Okay, in a bit, I just want to see if there's any. It's better they cry because they have to learn from childhood. Yeah. Okay, that's from JK. Oh, come on, but no, not fine. Okay, I've kept Itaniku waiting, so I'm going to bring Itaniku up now.
Hello.
You are welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you
Thank
very much for having me.
Yes.
So,
Please introduce yourself and what you do in your channel.
my name is Ifeanyi Cool. Ifeanyi Cool is the channel from Trap Okolo. Uh, I was blessed by you coming over my premiere sometime a few days ago. And I'm being thankful now because it brought me to connect with Ifechi's TV. Very interesting.
Hmm.
And thank you, everyone in the house. Did I just? It's just trying to come in because I never had the opportunity to write much. I was very busy on my life. Also today, my first live ever.
Oh wow.
Uh, let's go straight because probably we're gonna have the opportunity in future to be able to to talk about my channel. But the issue on the ground is very important, and that's the reason why I kept on bringing what seems to be negative, but it's not actually negative. It's understanding human nature. You know, we should be careful. That same inherent instinct that we talked about before is also in the children. You know, children could be manipulative. I'm glad that I'm a father as well. So and I spent a good number of time with at least, yeah, one or two of my kids. So the thing is, if you should tell a child not to cry, I was a crybaby because I was strong, but I hated while I was growing. I hated injustice. So I'm always the person to hit first, and that's where I lose it all. I lose every time that one asks, "What happened? What happened? Who started this fight?" They will say me. But when they hear exactly what, then I'll start crying. See, I've already done the job of defeating the evil, apostrophe. But I am the person that receives more of more of what? More of the penalty because I started first.
Hmm.
Then that cry you're seeing there, anyone in the room could interpret it to whatever he or she wants. But that cry is actually a cry of, yes, I made a mistake. It's a guilt. I made a mistake. I have always been warned not to be the first person to hit. Don't be the judge, But that's where the cry is coming. The cry is not coming because I was beaten by the other person, because they hardly did. As I believe that every time that some of them notices that I'm the person, they will say they would like to revenge. But anyway, it's all good. It's children's stuff. So I wasn't violent. I always wanted to bring, but I cry. I was the person that cried, and that hurt my dad so bad. That hurt my dad so bad. But why are you crying? You always cry. You always cry. It's just but he taught me not to hit first. He taught me not to be violent. So I'm crying over the fact that over the guilt that I never took that instruction seriously. But again, the confusion is, what about me leaving this person, to be that violent? And I wanted to interject, I wanted to interfere so that the person would, so it was a little bit of confusion. But it's very important to note, please, don't you ever tell a child not to cry, especially when that child is genuinely hurt. Because what you're building up is a suicidal situation. That
Hmm.
child will die in silence, especially the men. That's why most men are, I'm now using the word that some of them use, their colloquial men. I'm sorry. Most men, most men die in silence. Most men die in silence. So we have to distinguish the genuine remorse from, just being the person that always cries. I've told you what happened in my situation. Why am I crying? I told you the reason why I usually cry those days, because I made a mistake. It's a guilt. I made a mistake, and that's it's not because I did not defeat the other person in the altercation. It's just that I made a mistake. The guilt is what brings about. So we now can understand the perspective where I'm coming. Some of the guilt are not just guilt. This guilt is a genuine guilt of not doing what your parents told you. Thank you very much. I hope I never took much of your time.
No, 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 it's okay. It's all right. Thank you so much for that contribution.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you coming up to, air your opinion on this particular subject. And I'm sure that as the subject came up and came about, if I mention the person who we were discussing, we're all discussing, if I mention that person is a popular, famous author from the eastern part of Nigeria, a woman, you should know her.
Okay.
Mention her now, you will know, everybody knows her,
Okay.
you know. So while we were talking and she was somewhere discussing, she then something led to this and she made mention of this, that that's how, you know she is trying to kick against that. Why would a parent ask a child, a male child, not to cry and suck up the pain, you know And other people started contributing because they say it's a sign of weakness and all that and all that. I like to, sometimes when there's a conversation going on, I like to attack it from another point of view, a perspective people are not looking at. So I ask questions that seem like provocative, thought provoking questions so that people can talk. You get me now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, that's why I kept saying, but why?
yeah.
Why? They say, oh, it's a sign of weakness. How can it be a sign of weakness? Causes mental issue. How? You you said it's relieving. It's not that it's not relieving, it's relieving, but how? It's held, all that. So, yes, it's not that I'm trying to antagonize or attack or dispute. I think dispute is the right word.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah, yeah.
But I'm bringing in another perspective so that we can have more explanation so that the person that is going through this or the person that this concerns can be able to, when they replay or maybe they are here somewhere hiding in the bush, they might get a broader perspective because this is for to help someone.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is
Yes.
definitely something to help somebody. If I could
Yes.
come in there, you will see that at a point, my dad noticed that actually what was going on, I wouldn't know why, but I can now reflect and remember that what he does is okay. Now just go, get out of here, get out of here. He wants me eventually to go and do that cry where it will not be shameful for him and for me as well. But remember, I'm giving this instance not because I'm a violent person. I'm glad that most people that I grew up in the eastern part, I'm talking about Coal City, they who knew me, they knew me as a good guy who is always playing funny Robin Hood, you know. So that Robin Hood thing cries also. We should realize that. Remember that that is a hero figure, but he has to cry in order to relieve himself a little bit of that pressure. So what he did, what my dad did, which I now recollected well, is that when it happens, he knows that I'm going to cry. Then he said, "Get out from here. Get out now. Get into the room." You see that? Because he knows that I'm going to cry. You know that
Yes.
something has been done to me. I tried to interject or interfere with my own tactic, and I failed. And the failure is not just not being able to defend myself or defend whoever I'm defending. The failure was that I disobeyed something that was given to me as a grail. It told me never hit first, never be the person to hit first, and I understand it today. You've seen in the in a certain litigation out here, just for the fact that somebody defended himself. Some people get away with, what I'm talking about. So let's go back. If you are telling a child, I have to say it once more. If you're telling a male child, especially a male child, because that's a mistake, a misconception of child socialization that we've
Yeah.
all had it. If you're telling, you know what you're doing? You're bottling a bomb. You're bottling a time bomb. That person could explode anytime. And this is something that is happening. That person, another thing is, if we are not talking about being aggressive outwards, we are now talking about being aggressive inwards.
Yeah.
If I had a problem, I speak it out. And because what I did, what I learned from those situations, it means, okay, if somebody does something, start shouting, start telling people, hey, he has done it again. Oh, you saw how he came over and took my ball. And then, so you see, I can shout now that I realize that if you ever got ahead and you know got that ball by force, you are going to be the person that will be done what? Will be punished. So today, in order to avoid being suicidal, in order to avoid a situation where I will be the person to take the punishment, I will shout out. People will say, "Oh man, leave this thing. It's a family matter. Don't talk about it." You know what? Are you a crybaby? I say, "Yes, I'm a crybaby because nobody knows that that woman, nobody knows that that man is, is killing me. I have to speak out. I have to. Then you people can interject. So anybody telling a boy child not to cry, that person is creating a suicidal, situation. People, and they will not talk. When is he gonna talk? He's gonna die. So please be a man, cry. That's how I'm closing this session.
So men
Be a man, cry.
men cry. In
Yeah,
other words, men cry and men should cry. Men should not bottle up their hearts. Men should not bottle up whatever is making them cry, want to cry, right? They should
yeah,
release that emotion and shed tears because they
yeah,
will feel much better afterwards
yeah.
rather
Especially, excuse me, especially when he's not using it as an aversion. That's the thing. You've already mentioned to us that people are near to tears. We know about that. But most
than
men are not near to tears. I have to tell you the truth.
yes,
Because
that
of
is
this child socialization. And but now we are telling them, learn to cry, learn to speak out when you're boiling inside. Please, I believe that some other person is gonna come in, and I would I will leave the room so that you can bring some other person in. And Princess, thank you very much for having me. Thank
you're
you very
welcome.
much.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Very welcome. It was good to have you. Thank you so much. I think before you go, um, the first place I met you was in Goga's live stream some time ago, and when your notification popped up on that premiere that you're talking about, I had to attend. So
Thank
yeah,
you very much.
yeah, that's okay.
Thank you. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome, and thank you so
Bye
much for
bye for now. We stay
yeah.
connected. I have a lot to learn from you guys that have, achieved this milestone, and you're still doing good works. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye
Welcome.
for
We are
now.
set. Bye for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, uh, okay. All right. So now we had what his contribution is, and I particularly loved what he contributed. Being a man, I love it that he was able to come out to, say his perspective. And he's a man, and what we are discussing has to do with men, right? So that was a wonderful contribution. And I believe that uh, whoever is going to replay this and whoever it is that this has to do with will replay and will draw that conclusion that whoever is making a male child not express his emotions, through tears should desist from doing that. They should allow the child to cry, allow the child to shed tears when he is hurt. Most especially if that shedding of tears is not crocodile tears. If you know your child that your child is not shedding crocodile tears, please allow him to cry when he's hurt. If you know your child that your child is not being manipulative, because we know that children are manipulative, with cries, then allow the child to cry. If you find out that the child is genuinely hurt, maybe the child is feeling pain somewhere, allow him. Or maybe the child has gone through some, you know, maybe he's been scolded and or something is hurting him, or he's lost his toy and he decides to cry to let it go, or something, or his playmate has done something to him. We should not shush the child anyhow. We should not suppress the cries all the time. We should allow the child to cry and shed that tears. and allow the child to also speak out so that we don't end up raising male children who become, suicidal in future, or who become abusive in future because they were not allowed to, express their emotions while they were growing up, as little children. If they are not allowed to express themselves and speak out and cry when they're hurt, if we don't allow them to do this, most especially when the cry is genuine, most especially when, if it is not manipulative, don't get me wrong, just listen to what I'm saying. If it is not manipulative, I know why I'm stressing these things. If it is not crocodile tears, right? We should allow the children, especially male children, to express themselves in tears if that is how they are going to let that hurt out of their heart, if that is how they will let that pain off. Allow the man to, you know, go into hiding, or go to his wife, or go in and shed the tears and allow him to express himself, express that emotion, let it let it out and not bottle it up. Because if you make them bottle up and keep bottling up and keep bottling up and keep bottling up, as they are growing, they are bottling up a whole lot of things. The child is hurting, and you're telling the child, suck it up, do not let me see one drop of that tear on come out. The child might be shedding that tear, be crying because something is hurting him. Hear him out. Let him speak out. Don't just shush him. Don't just tell him, go into the room. You heard the example that Ifeanyi said. Because you know that your child is going to cry now because something has happened. You tell him, go into the room, get out of this place. And then the child goes, and the child goes to cry, or the child sucks up the cry. And then that thing continues to eat up that child until the child grows into a man. And some of these abusive men that we see in relationships today, this is how it all started, right? Some of them started that way. They were not allowed to express their emotions. They were not allowed to shed the tears and let out that pain from their heart. And so one day the person just might just end up having emotional breakdown, and the man will start crying or start yelling or start, yelling at his wife, or for any little thing he starts yelling at his wife. It is that pain. It could be that pain that he had been bottling up since he was a child, might be one of the reasons he's, busting out that way, and becoming abusive or becoming suicidal. All right, people. So, parents, this is a serious one for us. We are all learning, we learn every day. So, if you are one of those parents who usually, or yeah, who is fond of shushing up your male child every time he wants to, say something, or every time he wants to express his pain, in tears, or every time he wants to express his emotion in tears, don't keep telling the child, oh, you are a man, crying is a sign of weakness. No, allow the child to cry, allow that pain to come out, allow that tears to come out, right? And thereafter, you can then console the child and talk to the child, tell him where he's gone wrong, tell him where he's done right, and console that child. So, from all that we have seen, all the discussion today, we have seen that crying might not be a sign of weakness after all. It might be for some people, more, well, it might be for some people, but when a child genuinely sheds tears of emotion, or emotional tears. Say he lost something, or say he's lost a loved one, or say, excuse me, or say something. Excuse me, let me drink some water, please. Or say something has made him, start shedding tears. Please allow the child. We have also seen that crying is relieving. When a man cries, we're talking about male children, we're talking about men here. When a man cries, wife, Mrs., Madam, when something happens to your husband and your husband starts crying, please do not see it as a sign of weakness on your husband. Do not disrespect your husband because you're thinking, oh, now he's crying, he's a weak man. No, please don't do that. So if you're a wife here, if you're a girlfriend to a man, to a boy here, and you see your boyfriend crying, or something happens and your boyfriend comes to you and both of you are talking, or or he's lost someone and he starts crying, or your husband starts crying, and you see the vulnerable side of him, or all that, do not take it as a sign of weakness. Okay. Two, we have seen that crying is healthy. It's healthy sometimes. Crying could be fulfilling, and I'm adding crying could be satisfying as well. Depending on what you are crying for, why you are crying. And if we've seen people shed tears of joy, which is also relieving, right? It is satisfying when someone sheds tears of joy. It is healthy. So crying is healthy. So don't tell a man, not to cry, because, to quote our guest speaker, they are dying in silence. A man could be dying in silence, and in order for him to express himself, he might begin to cry. So don't shush him up and say, oh, why is he crying? Don't shush him up and say, why is he crying? Oh, this is a sign of weakness. Because he might be dying in silence. When you say that to him, he might be dying in silence. You don't know what's going on inside him. You don't know what has pushed him, what has triggered him to cry. You don't know what has made him to get that to that level, that some people get nervous breakdown and they start crying. You don't know what has made him to reach that level of no return, a level of not control his tears anymore, and he just breaks down and he starts crying. Please, wives, mothers, sisters, girlfriends, women, let's, you know, sometimes through the tears of a man, study the man, because a lot of men don't cry, and that is the truth. Most men don't cry, right? Because of what society has built in them. Society has said to them, shut up, do not cry, because crying is a sign of weakness. Society has said to them, do not cry, because crying is a sign of weakness, right? Um, Back where I come from in Nigeria, it happens that way. Here where I live in the UK, it happens this way. In America, it's like that. So everywhere in the world, it's like that, right? Society has conditioned people to think that when you see a man crying, that is a sign of weakness. Please, it's not always a sign of weakness for a man to cry. All right. So, if anything at all, men also need to be consoled. They need to be consoled. They need to, when you see your man crying, for example, you need to console him. You need to find out what is making him cry, right? Even if he has lost someone, it could be something else that has triggered him to make him cry. He might be remembering something. So find out why he is crying. Please do not shush him and don't say, "Oh, crying is a sign of weakness," because crying is not always a sign of weakness. Okay, So if you're a woman, when you see a man crying or you see your man crying, console him, because men also need consolation. They are carrying a lot. They are carrying a lot, but they sometimes they don't have a way of showing it, because society has made people believe that, oh, men are not they're not supermen, superhumans, they're humans. They are humans, right? Men are humans. So when a man cries, allow him, okay? So that he does not die in silence. So, bottom line, learn to cry and learn to speak out. That's what our male um, guest told us. If you are a man and you're listening to me, learn to cry, learn to speak out, particularly learn to speak out and learn to cry, and do not die in silence, because a lot of the time men suppress what it is that they feel, because they don't want you to think, oh, they are weak. All right. So I'm going to bring this discussion to a close now. And um, if anything comes up on this discussion, we might bring it back again sometime soon in future. But for now, here's what it is. And I believe that we have done some justice to this discussion. And thank you. I want to thank you all. And I want to thank particularly those who contributed in the chat. And I also want to thank Ifanyuku, who was our guest speaker. Thank you so much. Anna Abai Official, my channel member who is here. Thank you so much. And Bluebells Beaded Crafts, thank you so much for your contributions. You have contributed a lot in the chat as well. And everyone, Check TV, you contributed. And for everyone who has shown up here, who has been around here while this discussion was going on, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you to all of you. Thank you so much for your support. We Unlock Nation, Sam, Kendirim Aruha, and everyone who has come around. Thank you all. Gracie Carey Mission, you came around. Everyone who has come around. Thank you so much. If I don't mention your name, it's because I have, it's not because of anything. Okay? Just, I must have given you a shout out already. All right? Yeah. And of course, my night bots. Oh, yes, there's someone I did not shout out because my guest was talking then, and that is Al's Organic Cosmetic. A lot of blessings for you, Sissy. If you are still here, please pardon me, put a chat through. A bit of blessings for you. Al's Organic Cosmetic was also here. Yeah. And thank you all. I'd like to bring this to a close now. I'll see you again on Friday, God willing. And if I don't come out on Friday, then it will be next week, Tuesday. But I'll try as much as possible to be here on Friday. Yeah. On this note, I'll say bye, everyone. And thank you. Thank you for your support. Okay, let's play our music to end this discussion. Yes, and if you have any questions to ask, please do not hesitate to ask the questions. You know where you can get me on Instagram. Come to me, and if you have any comments, put the comments through on this LS. And if you have not given a thumb up, kindly thumbs up the live stream, because it helps a lot. It helps the algorithm to recommend to those who really need to hear the discussion that has gone on in this live stream. Okay, it's not your likes, it's not going to bring me revenue, but it will help the algorithm to, to recommend the video to those who really need to see it. Okay, people. And if you have if you are able to share out, or share to someone, or share to parents, or share to your man, or say this is what we have discussed, or share to family members, or share to friends. Okay, uh, so that whatever we have discussed here will go around. And because I am sure that there are people who are waiting to hear what has gone down here today. Okay, and yes, Red Lipstick Vibes, my dear sister from US, she was also here. I would have loved for her to also contribute, but I guess maybe it has to be some other time. Okay. So thank you all so much. Blessings to everyone. All right. Here is my music. So yeah.